Hello everyone and welcome to my session on queues in Python. It is one of the data structures in Python. As we know that a data structure is a way of organizing, storing, processing and managing the data in an effective and reliable way. Today we are going to learn in detail about queue. We have seen the live example during the election. People wait for their turn to vote in a line. The person standing at the entry point will be the first to vote, and a new person can join the line at the end. The same logic is implemented using the lists in Python. So, we are going to learn how the queue is represented using the lists. Also, the insertion and deletion in the queue using the lists. Now look at this picture. You can see a line of people standing one after the another. The person standing at the start of the line will exit first from the line. Similarly, the person can join the line from the other end. This is the basic principle of queue. It is open from both the ends, entry from one end and exit from the other end. Now let's see in terms of Python what is a queue. So queue is a linear data structure that can store sequence of items. Queue follows first in first out principle, that is FIFO principle. It means that the elements to be added first are removed first. Queue consists of two open ends, one for the entry called as the rear end and the other for exit called as the front end. Elements are always added from the rear end and deleted from the front end. Now let's see how the list is implemented as a queue for programming. You can see a list with the indices starting from 0. To convert a list into a queue, it should be open from both the ends and there should be some restrictions for addition and deletion of an element. We are going to use two variables to indicate the front and the rear. The 0th element, that is Shibu, the 0th index element will be pointed as the front and the last element will be pointed as the rear. So, the list has become a queue. Insertion in the queue can be done on the rear end and the deletion from the queue can be done from the front end. Insertion in the queue is called as NQ and the deletion from the queue is called as DQ. So we have two basic operations on the queue. NQ, adding elements in the queue from the rear end, and DQ, deleting elements in queue from the front end. Now I will show you a video clip that shows the insertion of elements in the queue. Just we have seen that the elements can be added from the rear end. So now watch it carefully. Initially the queue is empty. The first element is inserted, that is 10. Second element is inserted. Third element is inserted and the fourth element is inserted. Once again you watch it. Empty queue, first element, second element, third element and the fourth element. Now this is the step-by-step addition of the elements in the queue. So now what do you conclude from the insertion of the elements into the queue? Elements are added from the rear end. Front remains 0 when the elements are added. rear increments by 1 after the addition of each element. Now let's understand this point. Rear increments by 1 after the addition of each element. As you can see, initially the rear was none. After that, rear becomes 0. After that, rear is 1, rear 2, and here the rear is 3. So the value of rear, it increments after the addition of each element. Now let's see the Python code for the insertion of an element. Now initially the queue is empty. Now we want to add the integer element into this queue. Now for the addition of element, you have to use the same logic as we have used earlier for the list. For addition in the queue, you have to take the value from the user. You will accept the value from the user and you will append it into the queue. Now see the code. This is the function definition. So what we have done is, we have accepted the value from the user and we have appended the value of this roll number into this queue A. After that, I have used the print statement. Now the element is inserted. Now you have to find out the value of front and rear. Now for finding the value of front and rear, you have to check the length of the queue and then find the value of front and rear. Now you can see, if it is the first element, then the front and the rear will be 0. This is the code. If it is the first element, means the length of A, if it is equivalent to 1, front and rear will be 0. Now if you add another element 20 into this queue, then the rear becomes 1. Now to find out the value of rear, we have to find out the length of the queue, and rear will be length of the queue minus 1. Here you can see the code. Rear will be equivalent to length of queue, means length of A minus of 1. Again, if you add the element, if 30 is added, you can see if 30 is added, again the rear it becomes 2. It means that length of the queue in this case will be 3, and 3 minus of 1 will be the value of rear. So this code is clear to you. Once again, you have to accept the values from the user. You have to append it. To find the value of front and rear, you have to check the length of the queue and then find the value of front and the rear. We have taken the value of the roll number from the user. We have used the append method to add the integer element. We have checked the length of the queue. If it is 1, front and rear will be 0, as rear will be len of A minus of 1. Now let's take the another example. Now we have to add the logically interrelated data as the elements of the queue. Here you can see we have added the list as an element in the queue. Now this list contains two elements, Pen and Aman. It means you will take two values from the user, you will store it as a list, and now this list will be appended into the queue. So now let's see the code. We have taken the value of roll number from the user. We have accepted the value of name from the user. We have stored it as a list. L equals to, in square bracket, we have written roll number comma name. So we have created the list of roll number and name. After that, we have appended the list into the B. B is queue here. So what we have done is accepted the value from the user, created the list and appended into the queue. Again, for finding the value of front and rear, what we have done is we have found the length of the queue, and if the length of the queue, if it is equivalent to 1, front and rear will be equivalent to 0, else rear will be len of b minus of 1. Now let's see another example. When another element b is added, another element 20 binu is added on the first index. Now since the elements can be added from the rear end, you can see it will be added to the first index. Now again you have to accept the value of 20 and binu from the user, store it into the list and then append into the queue. So the code is accept the value of roll number and name from the user, then create a list and append it into the queue. This is for adding the element into the queue. After that, you have to find out the value of the front and the rear. So for finding the value of front and rear, you have to find out the length of the queue. So if the length of the queue, if it is equivalent to 1, front and rear will be 0, else rear will be len of b minus of 1. So in this case, the length of the queue is 2. It contains 2 elements. So the length of the queue is 2, so rear will be 2 minus 1, that is 1. So in this way, you can add the elements into the queue. Now let's see the deletion of the elements in the queue. Now watch the video clip that shows the deletion of element in queue. The elements will be deleted from the front. So watch it carefully. Initially the queue has 4 elements. As you can see, 10 is at 0th position and 40 is in the 3rd index. Now the queue has 4 elements. If 10 is deleted, 20, 30 and 40 will be shifted towards the front and step by step the elements will be deleted. So now see this, watch it carefully. When 10 is deleted, 20 comes to the 0th position. When 20 is deleted, 30 comes to the 0th position. When 30 is deleted, 40 comes to the 0th position or 0th index. When 40 is deleted, queue becomes empty. When you try to delete the element from the empty queue, you will get the error message. This stage is called as the underflow. You cannot delete the elements from the empty queue. This is quite clear. Again watch what has happened. Initially the queue has 4 elements. 10 is deleted, 20 is deleted, 30 is deleted, 40 is deleted, and again if you try to delete the element, it shows you the message. So let's see the step-by-step process how the deletion take place. Initially there were 4 elements, front is 0, rear is 3. When 10 was deleted, rest of the elements, they are shifted towards the front, they are shifted towards the left side and the rear gets reduced to 2. The rear every time reduces by 1. Now what you conclude from this is that the elements are removed from the front end. The front remains 0 until the queue has at least one element. As you can see here, when there are elements in the queue, the front remains 0. When all the elements are deleted, then the front becomes none. Now the elements are shifted towards the left. When the elements are deleted, the rest of the elements, they are shifted towards left. Now the rear decrements by 1 after deleting each element. Now this is clear to you all that the value of rear, initially it was 3, after that it became 2, after that it is 1, after that it is 0 and at last it becomes none. So the rear it decrements by 1 after deleting each element. Now let's see the program code for the deletion of element from the queue. Now the deletion will take place from the front end. Now this is the step-by-step process of deletion. Now for deletion, what we have to do is, you have to check whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, then either display the underflow message or the empty message, or otherwise you delete the element by using the pop function. But the 0th element has to be deleted because the deletion takes place from the front. So every time the 0th element, 0th index element will be deleted. Initially 10 will be deleted, after that 20 will be deleted, again after that 30 will be deleted, and then 40 will be deleted. So now after the deletion of the element, again you have to find out the front and the rear. So again check the length of the queue and find the value of front and the rear. So see the code. First of all, check whether the queue is empty or not. For that you have to write down length of B equals to 0. So if the length of B equals to 0, you have to display a message queue is empty. If it is not empty, then you can pop the element by using the pop function with the index 0. This is very important. Index must be 0 because deletion takes place from the front end. Now pop function, it returns the deleted element. So this deleted element, it is stored in the variable x, and you can display this value of x here. After deletion, you have to check the length of the queue. Len of B equals to 0. Now if it is 0 means it is empty, so the position of rear and front will be none. Now else if it is not empty, then front will be 0 and rear will be len of B minus of 1. Once again see the code. What you have to do is, you have to check the length of the queue, whether it is empty or not. If it is empty, display the message. If it is not empty, delete the element by using the pop function with the index 0. This is very important. Now you can display the deleted element because the pop function returns the deleted element. For finding the front and rear, again check the length. If length of B equals to 0, then the front and rear will be equivalent to null. Else front will be equivalent to 0 and rear will be len of B minus of 1. So now let's recall quickly what we have learnt. So we have seen what is a queue. So queue is a linear data structure in which the insertion is done on the rear end and deletion is done from the front end. Insertion in the queue is called as NQ and deletion from the queue is called as DQ. Also we have seen the insertion in the queue. You have to remember the steps for the insertion in the queue. You have to accept the value from the user and you have to append it into the queue. For finding the front and rear, again check the length of the queue and find the front and the rear. Also we have discussed about the deletion in queue. For deletion in the queue, we have to check the length of the queue. If it is empty, you have to display the underflow message, or otherwise you will delete or you will pop the 0th index element because deletion takes place from the front. Again, to find out the value of front and rear, you will check the length of the queue and you will find out the front and the rear. So we have completed the discussion on the queue. Now watch the next video for the practical demonstration on my YouTube channel Python SciComm. Thank you and have a nice day.